Hi guys, today in class we are going to be writing our body paragraphs. Most of you have not started yet, although I know a few of you have already gotten started typing. If you have not gotten started, watch this video first, just to clarify what my expectations are. If you've already gotten started, compare what you've written to my expectations and examples. Okay, so at the beginning of the year we were focusing just on paragraphs. So our topic sentence now has become our thesis statement. We had 3 supporting details in our paragraph, followed by evidence, followed by commentary. Remember, our commentary is our explanation of how this right here, our evidence, supports our supporting detail and how it ultimately goes back to our thesis. So this is my example from Group C back in first trimester. So we have mastered how to do this. What we are doing is we're taking it to the next level. Here is an example of one of my former students' literary analysis papers. They read The Giver, and their question was, what problems and conflicts result from this setting? Okay, so if you've read The Giver, you already have some background knowledge. If you haven't, it's a great book, but there's lots of problems. So we have not yet talked about the hook or intro, so you don't need to worry about that right now. Do you notice how the student's thesis statement is actually the last sentence of their introduction? So I will read it to you because it is set up very much like your thesis statement. There are many problems and conflicts that result from the lack of personal decision-making, strict adherence to behavioral expectations, and the importance of the receiver in training all create problems. Okay? That's a little wordy. I would have probably edited this a little bit if I still had this student in class. But here, you know we're talking about The Giver. She makes that clear up here. This is her claim. There are many problems and conflicts, and her 3 supporting details are listed in the order that they're going to appear in her body paragraph. So you'll notice the color coding has not changed. Her supporting detail is still in yellow, but this time it's the beginning of her body paragraph. I know some of you have already started doing this in your last writing assignment, so you know where we're headed. If you didn't do this in your last writing assignment, keep your color coding. It will make everything a lot easier. So when we look at this, this is a pretty good body paragraph. She begins with her supporting detail, which is in Jonas's community, they have a lack of decision making. Okay, now she needs evidence. Since you watched a movie, you're not going to be quoting from a book, so you will not have this page number because we watched a movie. But your example from the movie will come shortly after your supporting detail. You may have to give a little bit of context so people who haven't seen Hunt for the Wilderpeople will understand what you're talking about. So, her evidence from the book. The people don't even get to choose what job they want. In the book, Lowry states, finally, the chief elder paid tribute to the hard work of her community, which had performed the observations so meticulously all year. Do you notice how she gave a little bit of context right before the quote? She didn't just jump in. That's good. You may need to do that as well. Okay, now she needs commentary. So she needs to explain how this shows a lack of personal decision making and why it's a problem, because that's part of her thesis. So she said, the elders observe the kids during their volunteer hours and decide which job they would succeed the most at. One problem that may occur with this system is that the kids would receive a job they don't want and not be successful. Okay, so all in all, pretty good body paragraph. For those of you who are looking for a challenge or who are just strong writers, I will be talking to you about a bridge statement. Now, a bridge statement would come right after this last sentence and would kind of preview the next supporting detail. So let's look at her next supporting detail. In addition, the community has a strict adherence to behavioral expectations. So maybe my bridge statement could be, not only is personal decision making lacking, but children also are in a very strict environment. So do you notice how this does not is not verbatim? It is not this supporting detail word for word, but it does preview it. Think of it as just a little bridge between this paragraph and the next one. When you look at my graphic organizer my anchor chart, my anchor chart that's on Classroom, you will notice that I do have bridge statements listed. So if I can pull that up, this is on Classroom as well. Okay, so when I say bridge statement, that's a transition. The reason I would color code it purple is because we will be color coding our transition words purple anyway, if you remember from last trimester. Things like however, therefore, for example. Okay, so if you're already looking ahead, okay, what I just typed would be your transition statement. Use this map and my example and the screencast to help you write your body paragraphs. My goal is for you to all have at least one body paragraph completed by Thursday to conference. Ideally, you would have almost all 3 done. It just depends on how far you are in your graphic organizer. Please let me know if you have any questions.